Osiris was a powerful god in ancient Egypt. He was revered and worshipped by many, and his influence extended far beyond the mortal realm. He was the god of the underworld, but he was also the god of life, death, and rebirth. This duality made him a unique and complex deity, embodying both the end and the beginning of existence. Osiris was a kind and just ruler who taught the Egyptians about farming and civilization. His teachings were not just about survival, but about thriving and building a society that could stand the test of time. He was loved by his people, but he had a jealous brother named Set. Set's envy and ambition would lead to one of the most dramatic and tragic stories in Egyptian mythology. Osiris's story is a powerful myth about the cycle of life, death, and resurrection. It is a tale that speaks to the eternal nature of the human spirit and the belief that life continues even after death. It tells us about the ancient Egyptians' beliefs about the afterlife and the importance of morality. The story of Osiris was not just a myth, but a moral guide that taught people about the consequences of their actions and the rewards of living a virtuous life. Osiris's myth was central to Egyptian religion and culture for thousands of years. It was a story that was passed down through generations, shaping the beliefs and values of an entire civilization. Osiris's story is a tale of betrayal, loss, and the enduring power of love. Despite the treachery he faced, the love of his wife Isis and his son Horus would ultimately lead to his resurrection and the restoration of order. It is a story that has captivated people for centuries and continues to resonate with us today. The themes of love, betrayal, and redemption are universal, and they remind us of the enduring power of the human spirit. The story of Osiris and Isis is one of the most poignant love stories in mythology. When Set betrayed Osiris and scattered his body across Egypt, Isis embarked on a tireless quest to find and reassemble her beloved husband. Her unwavering devotion and determination are a testament to the strength of love and the lengths one will go to for those they care about. Using her magical abilities, Isis was able to bring Osiris back to life, albeit in a different form. This act of resurrection was not just a personal victory for Isis, but a symbol of hope and renewal for all of Egypt. It showed that even in the face of death and destruction, life could be restored and order could be maintained. The story doesn't end with Osiris's resurrection. His son Horus grew up to avenge his father's death and defeat Set, restoring balance to the world. This part of the myth highlights the importance of justice and the idea that good will ultimately triumph over evil. After his resurrection, Osiris became the judge of the dead, presiding over the weighing of the heart ceremony. In this role, he determined the fate of souls in the afterlife, ensuring that those who lived virtuous lives were rewarded, and those who committed wrongdoings faced consequences. This aspect of the myth reinforced the importance of living a moral and just life. The influence of Osiris extended beyond the myth itself. His story inspired numerous rituals and practices in ancient Egyptian culture. Temples were built in his honor, and festivals were held to celebrate his life and teachings. The myth of Osiris was not just a story, but a cornerstone of Egyptian spirituality and identity. Even today, the story of Osiris continues to captivate and inspire. Modern depictions of Osiris can be found in literature, art, and popular culture, demonstrating the timeless appeal of his story. The themes of love, sacrifice, and resurrection resonate with people across different cultures and eras, making Osiris a truly universal figure. The legacy of Osiris is a testament to the enduring power of myths. These stories, passed down through generations, shape our understanding of the world and our place in it. They remind us of the values that are important and the lessons we need to learn. The story of Osiris, with its rich tapestry of love, betrayal, and redemption, will continue to inspire and teach us for generations to come. Osiris was the son of Geb, the earth god, and Nut, the sky goddess. In the rich tapestry of Egyptian mythology, Geb and Nut were revered as powerful deities, embodying the very essence of the earth and sky. Their union brought forth Osiris, who was destined to play a pivotal role in the history of ancient Egypt. He inherited the throne of Egypt and became the first pharaoh. As the first ruler, Osiris set the foundation for what would become one of the most enduring civilizations in human history. His ascension to the throne marked the beginning of a new era, one characterized by innovation, stability, and cultural flourishing. Osiris was a wise and benevolent ruler who brought peace and prosperity to his kingdom. His wisdom was evident in the way he governed, always prioritizing the well-being of his people. He understood that a prosperous kingdom was built on the foundations of peace and mutual respect. He taught the Egyptians about agriculture, law, and religion. Osiris introduced advanced agricultural techniques, enabling his people to cultivate the fertile lands along the Nile. He also established a comprehensive legal system, ensuring justice and fairness for all. Moreover, he imparted spiritual wisdom, guiding his people in their religious practices and helping them understand the divine order of the universe. Under Osiris's rule, Egypt flourished. The land became a beacon of prosperity, with bountiful harvests and thriving communities. The advancements in agriculture led to surplus food production, which in turn supported population growth and urban development. The people learned to cultivate crops, irrigate their land, and build cities. Osiris's teachings on irrigation transformed the arid landscape into a verdant paradise. The construction of cities brought about architectural marvels, with grand temples and monuments that stood as testaments to the ingenuity and skill of the ancient Egyptians. Osiris also gave them laws and a system of government. His legal reforms laid the groundwork for a structured society where laws were respected and upheld. The system of government he established ensured that power was exercised responsibly, with the welfare of the people at its core. He taught them about the gods and how to live a moral life. Osiris's teachings on morality and spirituality were deeply intertwined with the religious beliefs of the time. He emphasized the importance of living a virtuous life in harmony with the gods and the natural world. Osiris's reign was a golden age for Egypt. This period was marked by unprecedented cultural and economic growth. Art, literature, and science flourished, and the achievements of this era became the foundation upon which future generations would build. He was a beloved king who brought order and civilization to his people. The people of Egypt revered Osiris, not just as a ruler, but as a father figure who cared deeply for their well-being. His leadership brought about a sense of unity and purpose, fostering a strong national identity. His reign was a time of peace, prosperity, and spiritual growth. The temples built during his rule became centers of learning and worship, where priests and scholars gathered to study and teach. The spiritual practices he encouraged helped the people connect with the divine, bringing a sense of peace and fulfillment to their lives. Osiris's legacy as a wise and just ruler endured long after his reign, influencing the course of Egyptian history for millennia. Set, Osiris's brother, was the god of chaos, storms, and the desert. He was often depicted with the head of a mysterious animal known as the Set animal, which had a curved snout and upright rectangular ears. Set's domain was the barren and harsh desert, a stark contrast to the fertile lands ruled by Osiris. The ancient Egyptians believed that Set's chaotic nature was necessary to balance the order maintained by Osiris. He was envious of Osiris's power and popularity. Osiris was beloved by the people for bringing civilization, agriculture, and prosperity to Egypt. Set, on the other hand, felt overshadowed and unappreciated. His jealousy grew as he watched Osiris receive adoration and respect from both mortals and gods alike. This envy festered within Set, turning into a deep-seated hatred. Set plotted to kill Osiris and take his throne. He knew that to overthrow Osiris, he needed a cunning plan that would eliminate his brother without arousing suspicion. Set's mind was a labyrinth of schemes and deceit, and he meticulously crafted a plan that would ensure his rise to power. He envisioned himself as the ruler of Egypt, with all the glory and reverence that came with the throne.
He secretly took Osiris's measurements and constructed a beautiful chest that would fit only Osiris. The chest was a masterpiece, adorned with intricate carvings and precious metals. Set's craftsmanship was unparalleled, and he ensured that the chest was both alluring and inescapable. He knew that Osiris, with his trusting nature, would never suspect the treachery hidden within such a magnificent gift. During a grand feast, Set presented the chest as a gift and challenged the guests to see who could fit inside. The feast was a lavish affair, with tables laden with the finest foods and wines. Set's guests, unaware of his sinister intentions, were eager to participate in the challenge. The chest stood in the center of the hall, gleaming under the torchlight, a symbol of Set's supposed generosity. One by one, the guests tried, but none could fit except Osiris. Each guest approached the chest with excitement, only to find that it was too small or too large for them. Laughter and jest filled the hall as they took turns attempting to fit inside. Finally, Osiris, with his characteristic humility, decided to try. As he lay down in the chest, it became clear that it was a perfect fit, much to the amazement of the onlookers. As soon as Osiris lay inside, Set slammed the lid shut and sealed it tight. The hall fell silent as the realization of Set's betrayal dawned upon the guests. Set's loyal followers quickly moved to secure the chest, ensuring that Osiris could not escape. The once joyous feast turned into a scene of horror and disbelief as Set's true nature was revealed.
Set then cast the chest into the Nile, drowning Osiris. The river, which had always been a source of life and sustenance for the Egyptians, now became a vessel of death. Set watched with satisfaction as the chest disappeared into the murky waters, believing that he had finally rid himself of his brother and rival. The Nile's currents carried the chest away, far from the reach of those who might seek to rescue Osiris. The chest floated down the river and eventually came to rest under a tamarisk tree. The tree, with its delicate branches and fragrant blossoms, stood as a silent witness to the tragedy that had unfolded. The chest, now hidden beneath the tree's roots, seemed to merge with the natural landscape, as if the earth itself sought to protect the fallen god. The tree grew around the chest, enclosing it within its trunk. Over time, the chest became part of the tree, its presence concealed from the world. The tamarisk tree, once a symbol of life and renewal, now held within it the remains of a god who had brought so much to his people. The story of Osiris's betrayal and Set's treachery would be passed down through generations, a reminder of the delicate balance between order and chaos in the world of the ancient Egyptians. Isis, Osiris's wife and sister, was devastated by her husband's death. Determined to find him, she set out on a long and perilous journey. Isis was a powerful magician and goddess of magic, healing and protection. She used her powers to search for Osiris's body.
Isis traveled throughout Egypt, asking everyone she met if they had seen her husband. Finally, she learned from some children that they had seen Set carrying a beautiful chest. Isis tracked the chest to the tamarisk tree and discovered her husband's body trapped inside.
With the help of her sister Nephthys, Isis retrieved the chest and brought it back to Egypt. She hid the chest in a swamp, hoping to resurrect Osiris.